Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Mom. This morning, we're trying something different. We've got props. Toxins. We're going to talk about toxins. And not just toxins, but how to resolve, having them. So what are the best things to do to get them out? So generally, I speak in a language that's sort of familiar. Like, you might be familiar enough that you can understand what I'm talking about. But for the sake of clarity, if I say to please stop, that's like worst. Wish you wouldn't is like not super bad for you, but still not good. Then we go to good, better, best. So that makes a little more sense. So if I tell you I wish you would stop, then I'm saying actually that I think it's really bad for you. So some of the toxins that we run into are heavy metals, mold, fluoride, parasites, radiation, and then there's, the chemical toxins as well, which I didn't put on the board, which I just now realized, which are things like spraying in the lawn. Right now, as the whole Roe versus Wade thing and the gun legislation took a lot of TV time. But one of the things that was super duper important that happened from the Supreme Court was the lawsuit that they can continue go after the Monsanto for the GMOs. I'm sorry, it's not for GMOs, for Roundup. For Roundup. You know what? Maybe it's not Monsanto. Whoever owns Roundup right now. Glyphosate is the product. I know they're playing hot potato with it, selling it here, there, and everywhere. It might be owned by a company in Germany. I don't remember the current one. Anyway, the Supreme Court has said that the party in question can sue because they got cancer from it. So, note to self, probably ought not to, or please stop rather, using Roundup, because it not only contaminates your land, it would contaminate you personally. So, your call on that, but there you go. Now, I've got, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 different things that we can talk about here. First of all, how do you know if you've got heavy metals? You'll get things, if you have toxins, you'll get things like brain fog, that's pretty common. Fatigue. I guess you could probably say symptoms we all have. So it is hard to know. And because of that, truth is, it's not a big deal to detoxify. So something I always keep around the house is activated charcoal. I will often just say charcoal, but what I really mean is activated charcoal. It is not the same as the stuff that you buy for your barbecue grill. Those charcoal briquettes, not the same. So don't try and think you're getting a better deal. You want activated charcoal. So I'm just going to drop that right there because I think you're smart enough that you can find on the internet activated charcoal. I had a friend that was dying of cancer, and he tried to commit suicide. Took a bunch of his pharmaceuticals. And when they took him to the hospital, what they gave him was basically a tablespoon of activated charcoal in water and made him drink it and to capture all of the pharmaceuticals and make them null and void in his internals so that they wouldn't damage him. Works for pharmaceuticals, works for other toxins, like if you were to get something bad in your food. So it would be something you would use if you had food poisoning, for example. It would also be used for, and you can use you can rub it on your like ant bites, things like that, insect bites. Certain weeds have certain stinging properties. You can use it on that too. So charcoal's great stuff. Keep it around the house. Also, note to self, when they run your water through a filter, it's usually a charcoal filter. Takes out a bunch of the contaminants. So same thing it does to your water, it does to your person, because we are very high in water. I want to say like 80% or something. I don't know the exact number. But yes, so charcoal. And some of the, so in the land of good, better, best, your charcoal, your zeolite, your diatomaceous earth, and your bentonite clay are all in the range, pop back and forth between good, better, and best on your, if you've got an issue, right? Zeolite seems to pull heavy metals out of your system better, but still charcoal will help. So will the bentonite and diatomaceous earth to a lesser degree, if you're specifically going after heavy metals. The mold, the activated charcoal, but if I was personally going after mold, I would use the chlorella and the spirulina. But the others will still help. And so therefore, while the chlorella and spirulina could also be, and are, also for health. Like generally, we should all be taking chlorella and spirulina every day, just to help give our bodies everything they need and expel the toxins. Because no matter how much we try, you just get like, oh, I didn't see that, right? They put aluminum in deodorant. Come on, man. Really? You don't, and speaking of which, you don't want to use an antiperspirant. You want to use a deodorant. You don't want something with aluminum, because you're literally rubbing aluminum into your body. Aluminum will get into your brain, make you stupid. So, not good, obviously. So, I mean, there's just like a million, and we could run off in every rabbit trail that there is. So that's the chlorella and spirulina there. I also add to my toxin removers. Bentonite clay, you probably more often hear of it as a face cleaner, rub, whatever. And it works for that. It does. It will draw the toxins out of your skin. And that's why your skin looks so great and fresh and bright and everything, is because you literally pulled the toxins out of your skin. So it does the same thing inside. Will help draw the toxins out of your insides. Very good stuff. You'll actually even see people advertise it as like Indian clay. And you're like, oh, ooh, so, ooh, it's Indian clay. Advertising, whatever. But basically the bottom line, you're looking for that bentonite. The diatomaceous earth works best on parasites. And you do not become immune to the parasite action, because it works mechanically. It will actually slice their little exoskeletons, and they dehydrate to death. So out they go. And so removing toxins will also help with allergies for people who have allergies. in an ideal world, you want to do a liver and kidney cleanse. You do it for about a year to help freshen up your organs. Took a while to get them sick, so it'll take a little while to clean them out. Plus, the kidney cleanse I use is basically a tea. So you drink a tea every day for 21 days, take a week off, and do it again every month. It's super gentle. Kids do call it my dirt tea. But one of the very interesting things about it is the first time I tried it, I was like, ooh, dirt tea. Yeah, it tastes like dirt too. There's something in there that my body craves. So, now I'm like embracing it. Like, yes, absolutely, give me some dirt tea. Do what you want with that. But I'm drinking my dirt tea because my body needs it. So there's obviously something in it that my body's craving. And then, so we've begun this new game, which is like you just find whatever. And you're like, geez, I wonder if there's medicinal use for this, right? Because God really doesn't make trash. So some things are medicinal, some things are not. It doesn't mean that they're trash if they're not medicinal. It just means that it has a different function. So what came up this last week or last couple weeks was this corn silk. We were peeling corn on the cob for dinner and pulling off that little silk stuff. And the question comes up, hey, is there any medicinal use in corn silk? Well, actually, yes, there is. And I'm going to read it to you. It's typically used as a tea. So you would take the corn silk off. You can let it dry or you can use it immediately. If you let it dry, then... typically, the difference between a dried herb and a powdered herb, there is... each herb has its own thing, but it's about 50-50, right? So you need twice as much of the wet herb, the undried herb, as you do of the dried herb to equal each other. I don't know why. Whatever. So, just for fun, corn silk. It can be used as a tea for bladder infections, urinary health, inflammation in the prostate. I guess all of these surprised me. So, it also helps with kidney stones and bedwetting. Don't know why. That was new for me. Surprise, surprise, it helps with congestive heart failure, and diabetes and high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So, that is an absolute pile of things that helps with. And, just a pretty simple tea. And theoretically, it would be a medicine or whatnot that you could get from the grocery store for such things. So, fun. So that's my quick little ditty for today. I did want to point out that for short-term allergies, this is something new for me. I'm using this allergen, and it has different zones, and we're here in the Texas zone. They're specific for our zones, and it's a tincture, so you take some drops under the tongue. If you don't know what a tincture is, basically it's under the tongue, no big. A tincture is basically alcohol and an herb put together. The good stuff in the herb is drawn out into the alcohol. You take your herbs, pack them in the jar, fill the jar with vodka or Everclear or something. Put the lid on, put it away in the dark for like 45 days, 60 days. And in that period, the things in the herbs, mental block, basically gets drawn out into the alcohol. The herb is taken away. The alcohol is put into a bottle. And that is your tincture. So that's what a tincture is. Tinctures can be extremely potent. I I don't know how pharmaceuticals are made, but if I were to guess, I would say it would be something similar happens to them. So maybe that's something to learn for next week. Maybe, maybe not. I would get distracted and lost and run off a different rabbit trail, so we'll see. Anyway, y'all, love you. It was great chatting with you this morning. And so we will see you next time on Coffee with Mom.